Hi folks, Steven here and welcome into TK Power Sports. Pricing has finally come down for the all-new Yamaha Crosswave. Spoiler alert, it's over 30 grand and we need to talk about it. So in this video, I'm going to compare the Crosswave with every other adventure and fishing focused PWC on the market, and then we'll also compare it with some small fishing boats to see how it stacks up in terms of size and price. So make sure you stay tuned. First, we start with the news, which is that the Yamaha Crosswave in the United States is going to start at $32,499. I do not have Canadian pricing yet as of publication time, but when I get it, I will drop it down there in the comments below so Canadians can look out for that. The Crosswave is certainly unique in the PWC industry, but it's also chasing a trend that we've seen from all the major brands, which are fishing-focused models and then adventure-focused models. So right now, I want to compare the Crosswave to all of those to see how the pricing stacks up, and then we'll compare it to some small fishing boats to see how it stacks up there. But just a quick refresher on the Crosswave, and if you haven't seen it, we do have a full walk-around with this unit from the Toronto Boat Show earlier this year, so go check that out here on the channel if you really want to see me, open every single cubby and use all the features. But for now, just a quick high-level overview. The Crosswave is a new 4-seat PWC from Yamaha. It's much larger than any other PWC on the market. It's 12 foot 11 inches long. The beam or the width is 5 foot 7 inches. It has a maximum weight capacity of 705 pounds, so it can carry 705 pounds. It has 310 liters of onboard storage. It has long enough storage bins that you can fit fishing rods down in there. It's powered by Yamaha's 4-cylinder 1.9 liter marine engine, which is new just 2 years ago, and that thing is making 200 horsepower. Now, the one very important number we still don't have on the Crosswave is the weight. Yamaha just keeps delaying telling us what this thing weighs, which seems kind of ridiculous to me because customers who are interested in buying one, they need to know what it weighs. You need to know what vehicle you can tow it with. So yeah, I'm just surprised that we don't have a weight yet. I have been bugging Yamaha about this, and as soon as they announce that number, I'll do my best to share it with you guys right away. But yes, we don't know what it weighs. We'll make some educated guesses in this video though, based on the weights of all the other units we talk about. So yes, that is the Crosswave. Now let's look at what else is out there and how much it costs. We'll start by looking at the competitors from Sea-Doo, and it's definitely true with modern PWCs that Sea-Doo is the brand that keeps on pushing sort of the fishing focused models and the Explorer Pro, the exploration focused models. They were the first brand to say, hey, maybe we can sell some PWCs to people who aren't just looking to go fast and have fun, and it's really caught hold of the industry, it feels like, and I think the Crosswave is sort of the next step in that evolution. Let's talk about Sea-Doo. So there's two models I'm going to discuss, the Explorer Pro and the Fish Pro Trophy 170. So first we'll talk about the Sea-Doo Explorer Pro, and that thing costs $20,149 at base. It can either have a 170 or 230 horsepower engine, and like the name suggests, the Explorer Pro is about exploring. It's about going long distances, so it's getting things like that touring windshield, extra padding on the seat. You get a 100-liter watertight bag that comes along with your Explorer Pro. It now gets a standard 10.25-inch touchscreen, which has navigation built into it and tons of other features. There's a bumper that goes all the way around the Explorer Pro, so you're not going to be smacking into your hull when you come up to dock. In total, the Explorer Pro gets 198 liters of storage, which is a good number, but don't forget, the Crosswave has 310 liters of storage, so Crosswave has by far more storage. And the reason the Crosswave gets so much more storage, well, it's just bigger. The Explorer Pro is 12.2 feet long and 4.1 feet wide, so it's over a foot skinnier than the Crosswave and about 10 inches shorter. And don't forget, the Crosswave also has that walk-around deck, so it just has a much larger deck than you're going to find on any other PWC, which is more opportunity for storage as well. And then the other model from Sea-Doo we'll look at is this one, the Sea-Doo Fish Pro Trophy 170. It's more expensive than the Explorer Pro. It comes in at $22,649, but that is still 10 grand less than a Crosswave. Now that thing has 170 horsepower. It's getting that same 10.25 inch touchscreen, but it also features a 9-inch Garmin fish finder, so you're getting that separate screen there. The Fish Pro gets the pedestal seat, which you can sit on sideways while you're fishing to make it more convenient. It gets a 13.5 gallon cooler that converts into a live well for you, which is pretty cool. And no, the Crosswave does not have a live well on it, despite having all of those storage spots. In total, the Fish Pro gets 149.9 liters of storage, so less storage than the Explorer Pro and way less than the Crosswave. The size is identical to the Explorer Pro here as well, so it's just that much shorter. But we should talk about weight. So the Explorer Pro has a dry weight at 917 pounds. The Fish Pro Trophy has a dry weight at 898 pounds, so they're right around 900 pounds for both of them. And I think with that in mind, and then you consider how much bigger the Crosswave is, this is my first guess, but it's gotta be 14 to 1500 pounds dry. That's my assumption. And then once loaded with people and stuff and fuel and fluids, probably 2,000 pounds in the water. But maybe I'm overestimating. I don't know. I wish Yamaha would tell me, so then I know if I'm out to lunch with that number. But that's sort of my gut, considering what these Sea-Doos weigh. The final package I have to mention here on PWCs is this, the Jetski Ultra 160 LXS Angler. Yes, even Jetski jumped into this area. And when it comes to these fishing models, it's the most affordable. The Jetski costs $18,899. Now, it only gets 160 horsepower, so it's also the least powerful of the group, but it gets a 2-piece bench seat set up for fishing. It gets a Garmin Echo Map fish finder, which is nice. It gets larger side floats connected to it to add to slow speed stability, which is pretty cool. There is an Orca 14.5 gallon cooler and a rear rack with built-in rod holders, so it gets all those features you want. Now the Sea-Doo, or the Jetski I should say, is actually considerably shorter. It's only 140.9 inches long, but it's the same width as the Sea-Doos at just about 4.1 feet. Now when it comes to weight, I do appreciate that Kawasaki says 915 pounds dry for this model, or 1,052 pounds ready to ride with all the fluids. So I appreciate that they give us that number. So yes, you have an option from Jetski as well. It's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit less powerful, but it's also the most affordable if you're just looking to get out fishing. Well, there you have it, folks. The Crosswave is going to be about $10,000 more than anything else in the PWC segment. That even includes performance machines. For example, the most expensive Wave Runner is $22,199 for the FX Limited SVHO. So even compared to that high-end performance model, yes, the Crosswave is $10,000 more. But now let's look how it compares to fishing boats. So I went over here to the Tracker Boats website just to get a sense for pricing. And at the base, you're getting a pretty nicely outfitted fishing boat for $15,995. So for basically half the money, you can get into a brand new fishing boat. And then, of course, you have a whole range of boats, different lengths, different engines. The base models are mostly 50 horsepower. Then you get up to 75 horsepower. And finally, you get up to something like this Pro Team 195. It's about the same price, normally $31,995, but right now $29,995. And once again, you're getting a very nicely outfitted fishing boat for the same money. Now, of course, this boat is significantly longer and wider, and fully loaded. It's going to be heavier than the Crosswave, and it's a very different type of watercraft. If you're still looking for that sort of fun PWC feeling, this boat is not going to deliver that at all. But if you're looking to take you and multiple people out on the water for a day of fishing, ultimately the boat's gonna end up being more comfortable. Now, the Crosswave is certainly being marketed as for multiple people. I still feel like it's probably gonna be a solo unit, and if you're out there on your own, well then yeah, it's pretty big for one person, but still not as big as a boat. So you're gonna have to decide what works for you. I just wanted to look at the pricing to see that yes, in fact, you can get into a brand new fishing boat for significantly less money than the Crosswave, and I do think that's gonna make it a harder sell for Yamaha. Now we just have to wait and see if there's going to be a market for this thing. And with that, folks, we've come to the end of this video. Now, of course, I need to hear from you, so drop in the comments. Let me know what you think of Crosswave pricing and how it compares to the rest of the industry. And as soon as I can get it on the water, which is to say as soon as the weather turns a little bit nicer, I will definitely get on a Crosswave and give you guys a full review. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But for now, go down in the comments and let me know what you think of the price. Oh yeah, and the lack of weight. And as soon as I get that weight, I'll drop that down there in the comments as well. So go look for that info. For now, that's it for this one. Please hit like, hit subscribe, hit join, become a member of TK Power Sports, and then come right back here to the channel and see what we're testing next. See ya.